Hi everybody. Good evening everybody. I hope everybody can see me and hear me okay. Just setting everything up, so bear with me while I knock my noise off. I'm just going to get the chat up to see who's in chat. So good evening, Mrs. G. Good evening, Jan. Hiya, Angie. Hiya, Jill. Hiya, ladies. I hope everybody's well, safe, happy, and busy crafting away like busy crafters. Busy crafters. I hope you're all doing very well. I have tonight's project. I've got a range of different things on my desk, which I'll go through in a minute. But I want to tell you where my inspiration came from while I'm waiting for everybody to come in. So I have been looking at postcards, normal postcards that you would buy. I purchased some when we went to Cyprus and brought them back, and I've been looking at them and thinking, why can't we make them but using different sort of medias to create them? Now, the postcards I'm making are a little bit smaller because I sort of want to play about tonight. And I'm guessing, I'm going to show you something in a minute. I am guessing that you can put them in almost any project. Journals, notepads, you can send them instead of a card, a happy meal, whatever the weather. Yeah, that's what you can send. I'm going to turn the camera around because I just want you to see something because it's catching my eye. That's why I keep looking over at the window. So I hope you guys can see that. Let me see if you can see it. Can you all see the colours of the sky? Because it's catching my eye. It's actually redder than that. I wish the camera was picking it up more, but it's redder than that. It keeps catching my eye. That's what keeps catching my eye. I was like, no, that keeps catching my eye. So I apologise. That's what keeps catching my eye, is the colours. Right. I've got rid of my chat now. Can't see my chat. Angie, I love the new name of your channel. I know Mrs. Paisley's changed her name. Hi, Lorna. Hello, Pauline. Hi, sweetheart. It's absolutely stunning. I wish the camera was sort of picking it up, but it's all in like reds. I'm seeing pink, but I had to show you it because it was just catching my eye, and I thought, no, I've got to show them what we keep looking at. So, yeah, going back to tonight's project. So what I thought was, I've been buying some stamps. But I've been buying sort of like a different range of stamps. I've been buying stamps to go with a paper pad. Not that I have no paper pads. Of course I don't. I've only got like 4 drawers full of them. But in my head, I was like, you can only buy a paper pad, Colette, if you're going to use one up. That was my motto. So I've been using one of my paper pads. So that's what I had in mind. You can buy one if you use one up. And I've been buying the stamps to go along with it. So I want to use sort of different things, not just stamps, but like gesso, stencils, watercolors to make a postcard. Now you can make them bigger or smaller, it's totally up to you. I'm going to spin the camera around for you to actually see what's on my desk in a minute. Yeah, it was beautiful, Lorna and Jill and Mrs. G. It's, yeah, that's what kept catching my eye, and I thought I've got to tell them what's catching my eye because they might think I'm talking to someone else. No, but that was what was catching my eye. So I'm going to spin you all around, and yeah, welcome to my life. So let me spin you guys around, and you'll have to let me know if you can hear me, see me okay, and let me know if there's any problems doing the live, and hopefully we can resolve it. So on my desk, I have a range of different stamps. Now I've been trying to find a way to keep my stamps, I don't know, organized, because I've got so many of them. Now I've been buying, I've had a few questions about where I'm buying my stamps from. So I tend to buy stamps with the magazines. I will specifically, specifically pick up a magazine just for the stamps, because sometimes I tend to find, and it's not with all magazines, but I tend to find the magazine doesn't give me much inspiration, but the stamps do. So I've been collecting these. These cases are like old game cases. That's the only way to describe it. And I've been collecting them, punching the stamp out on a piece of paper so I know exactly what's in there. So there's like all different florals, which is what I want to use, and there's leaves and stuff in this one. This one, as you can see, it's just come from a magazine, and I've just kept it on its acetate, but I've got to find a different way to keep it. The lovely Miss Sam, who's the Scottish crafter, she gave me this with her entry last year. So I want to use this like a tulip and a daffodil right in the corner. I want to use them. I've got my Downtown Abbey stamps. These ones came from a magazine. Yeah, these came from a magazine, and I want to use the wings and the butterflies. I really want to use the butterflies tonight. And then this is what else I've got on my desk. Now these stamps, I don't know whether to show you. I'm nervous. These stamps came with my paper pad. You can either buy the stamps as they are, so you sort of buy them as they are, or you can buy them with the paper pad. Does anybody would like to see my paper pad? So do I. I really read the ones I buy. I'm the same, Lorna. I tend to sort of push the magazine aside and use the stamps. And sometimes it gives me inspiration, but more than often than not, I tend to just push it aside. And I know that sounds bad, but that's what I do. Hi, Tanya, sweetheart. So this is I'm going to show you my paper pad. I, as you know, I'll cut into absolutely anything and not sort of think twice about what I'm cutting into, but I cannot not cut into this. This is going to have its own spot into the journal that I'm making. So if you're following the little series that I'm doing, this is going to find its way in there. It's called the Wildflower Meadow. Like I say, you can buy the paper pad on its own, or you can buy the paper pads and stamps. Nobody's asked me to do this to show you nobody's asked me to promote the shop or anything, but I was just I'm jumping up and down every time I open this pad because it's the quality of it. It's amazing. So what took me to this was when I had this from eBay. I wanted to go for some stamps, and I was looking for floral stamps. So I came across this one, and you've got like the buttercup, the butterflies. You've got all like sort of wildlife. There's a little bee there. Wildlife flowers. That was one of them. The other one was this one, and I thought, wait a minute. And then as I was looking further, then I had got this one. That's me that is putting the washi tape on, because I just wanted to keep it nice. And under there's 3 like little daisies. I will pick them out because I'm going to use them tonight. But this is the paper pad that goes with that collection. So this is it's got 40 double-sided sheets. It's 200 GSM papers inside, and also 150 GSM. It's acid free, and some of the papers feel like watercolor. That's why I think I like it so much. So the first thing to notice is when you open the front book, you've got all these images that I can cut out and use. And like you say, I'm all for cutting stuff. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. But this book's been sitting on my desk for now nearly a week, and I have not cut into it. I haven't cut into it because I'm too frightened to. So it came with this, and it was all packaged beautifully as well. And I've kept it. It's like a see-through. It's not watercolor. It's almost like transparent paper. It's really, really nice. So this one has roses on. It's got a bit of a shine on the roses. I don't know whether the shine will make itself happen. There, you can sort of see it on that one, but there, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up. But these are the jars shine. Chris actually thought they were stickers at one point. And then on the back of that, they are like daisies, all different colours, like pinks, purples, creams, and all that. It's 8:09 a.m. Saturday here, and I'm eating breakfast while I watch you. Oh my word, Tanya. Well, good morning, and thank you for tuning in so early. Must be an early bird. Thank you for tuning in. So you get 4 sheets of the same paper. And then we come to this. Now, this is where your stamps come in, because one of the stamps, and I don't know which one it is. No, it's not on this one. I think there's more stamps to this collection, but I've only picked up these 3. And then over here we've got, now this is where you sort of feel the difference. The first papers I showed you, they're quite thick. They're about 200. They're the 200. Now these feel like they're on watercolor paper. You know, if you've ever felt watercolor paper, it's like a textured, I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of like textured. That's what this reminds me of. So you've got bluebells. Had to be bluebells at the top. All different ones, all different flowers. There's ragged robin at the bottom, knapweed, all different wildflowers. So again, you get 4 of everything. So you can, and I am cut into this. I keep opening it and keep opening and keep opening. And I've even bought another pad, which I'll tell you what the other pad is, and that's coming tomorrow because I missed the post in the week. This one's got birds on. And then on the back of that, there's like the bird and a nest of flowers, which I kind of like. Why I'm showing you this pad is because I'm going to have some courage tonight and actually cut into it. Because I think if I don't cut into it, then I'll never cut into it. And then this is where your stamps come in. So where you've got the dragonfly, there it is on this one, look. See, it matches that one. And then the blue one here matches that. And I think they're hares. I don't think they're rabbits because their legs are a little bit long. I think they are like hares. And on the back of that, there's like a pale blue background, whereas this is completely plain. There's a pale blue flower background. Pearlized, I think it's called. Oh, wait now. Don't tell me, Jenny, what your name is. Don't tell me. Cheryl. There you go. Hiya, Miss Cheryl. Oh, I was out. I was going to think then. I was like, no, I'm going to get it. So that's, you get 4 of them. And then this is where your hares come in. This is what makes me think they are hares rather than rabbits. What do you guys think? I think they're hares, but I haven't stamped them to actually find out the detail of them. But I think they're hares. What do you guys think? Do you think they're hares or do you think they are rabbits, the stamps? Or anything? Do you think they're hares or rabbits? I think they're hares, but I could be wrong. And then on the back of that, there's like a pale, vintagey brown background. And again, you get 4. And like I say, some of the papers are watercolor. And then on this one, this is where the watercolor paper comes in. On this one, you see this flower here. This is this one. And then you've got this flower here is on the top of here. They all sort of match in, which is why I think there's more stamps. And then on the back of there, you know where the bluebells and all that, you get more. I'm trying to show you guys. You get more of the pictures. So there's Lady Mandel. There is Fairy Flax, I think that's called. I've got my glasses on. What else is there? Cowslip, Wild Yarrow, Wild Primrose. That's that one. Yellow one. I thought it was about Capernose, Primrose. So you get 4 of these. And they do different papers. So if you're not really into like flowers in nature, they do different ones. They're mainly, I've only seen 3, so I will say this, the ones that I have seen, I like I say, they bound to have done more than what I've seen, are mainly, they've mainly focused around flowers and wildlife, but they remind me of sort of the way it's done. It's more vintage. To me, it's vintage because the colours they've used and the way they've done it. And then on the back of that, you get like the green. I've seen this in washi tape somewhere, and I don't know where I've seen it. But anyway, get that. You also get washi tape and sequins to match the paper pads if you wanted to buy them. It's all beautiful things. So on this one is the, I don't know what that is. I don't know whether it's a wild mouse or it's a mole. Or it could be something else. What do you guys think? It could be, what they call those mouses in the wild. Are they called wild mouse? I'm not sure. It could be a mole or it could be something else. I'm not sure. But I think that's a mouse, a wild mouse, but I might be wrong. It's something else is called, I'm not sure. They are hares because their ears are big. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Their body is quite long. That's what makes me think they're hares. Everybody thinks they're hares. And then on the back of them, you get like this brown subtle paper, but in this time you get the white prints of the flowers. So the same flowers on here, just in white on the green background. And then you get the drawings. Now these ones will match these. So you see this flower here, the wild primrose. This is this. And then the one next door to it with the bee, that's this one. And then somewhere around is that one too, but I can't figure out. I did see it the other day on one of these. Oh, there's the caterpillar. There's the caterpillar. So they're all the little birdie. A little birdie told me. That's all there. Field mice, that's it. And then on the back of that one are sort of old-fashioned writing. It's almost like somebody's handwritten the writing. So you've got all the flowers that are used in this paper pad is what they've written on this side. So you've got the creeping thistle, the field speedwell, ragged robin, red capon, wild yarrow, and then they say the same thing, wild daisy. They say the same thing, but just in like old-fashioned writing. So you get 4 of these. And then you come to the print that we saw before, but this time is in colour. So you've got a little bit yellows and browns going through it. Good evening, Miss Melba. And then on the back of that, which is the last print, you get this. So it's the bright pale brown background and then sort of the leafy print going on. So that's what's on the back of that. Now, the person who designs it, this is what took me to it, her name is Katie. And the prints that you saw in this book and the prints you're seeing in her stamps, she's all hand-drawn and used her watercolors to create the prints. And that's where you get like the watercolor feature in the drawings as if somebody's actually drawn it, because she does actually draw it, which makes it different from different paper pads you may have seen. It's definitely different for me. I've never seen or held a paper pad that's got so many beautiful prints and that's been drawn and used watercolor. So that's where my inspirations come from tonight. I definitely want to sort of use that inspiration of her sitting there drawing and watercoloring to make my mixed media postcards. So I'm going to use the stamps. Now this is the other collection. I'm just going to put this away. The other collection that I have come in is called English Garden. Now this is just, I just picked up one stamp for that paper pad. And I'm looking forward to that to come in. That's got more roses in. It's really beautiful. So when that comes, I'll definitely show you. But again, I want to use this almost like arched brickwork. It's really beautiful. So I want to use that stamp. So those are sort of the stamps I've got. I've obviously got my watercolors to hand. And the other thing I wanted to share with you is my stencils before I get going. Now, these are stencils from beebeecraft. I've left the link in the description. I've even gone on their site and there's 10% off the stencil that I've left. The link to that stencil that's got 10% off, I've left the link to in the description thing as well below. So yeah, they've got stencils, and so I'm going to use the inspiration as well from these. Good evening, Miss Melba, or morning. So what I've done to get me going, this is an A3 watercolor paper pad, and I've split it up into 6 sections. Each section measures 4 by 4 inches by 4 inches, and I've left half an inch apart from the top, half an inch all the way around. That's just so that if I go over a little bit over that little certain section, that it won't bother me. I'm going to put the other light on, I think, because it doesn't look as if there's much light going on. I hope that's a little bit better. Right, so it is a gorgeous paper pad, Pauline. It's beautiful. So I'm going to wet. First thing I want to do is put some colour on my paper. So I've got next to me some water. It's not any special water, it's just cold water. And I'm using quite a wide brush. And I just want to pop a little bit of colour. On it, and I'll probably do this again in a second, but I just want to dampen the paper a little bit just to get my colour going before I use anything else. So I got myself what they call these, I can't think what they're called, somebody help me out, I can't think what it's called, a little palette, and I'm going to use some soft colours. So I want to make green up, and I think I want to make a bit of pink ups. I don't know, pink and green. Should I do pink and yellow perhaps? I'm just trying to work out my colours. Pink. I think I'm going to try and pink and purple. I think that's where I'm going. So let's do these colours. Now some of these are fairly new. So I've got white here, and this one is crimson red, so it's quite a dark red. And I just want to mix my colour up. So, now that's quite. If you're never sure about the colour, that is quite rich pink. I might use that quite in a bit, but so I'm going to pop some in there, and I'm going to add a little bit of white because it will lighten it up. There you go. Okay. Okay, so just a tad on there. I'm going to take, where did I put my, it was just there. Where's it gone? I'm looking for my, oh, there it is, right in front of me. I'm looking for this because I don't want all the colour to follow. And all I want to do don't mind if it comes across on the other page. I don't mind at all. I'm going to do 3 that are a little bit the same. And I want to do this one as well. I'm hoping and say because I don't want too much paint, okay, and then on the other side, this side, I'm going to do, I think I want to do I think I want to do green, but I'm just trying to stand off from the green. Some of the yellow. Where's my purple gone? There you go. Again, I only want a little bit of this purple because it's quite dark. It's like a velvety type. Yeah, velvet. It is velvet. So I want quite a lot of white because I really want to white and make this a lot lighter. So I'm going to mix that up. And you can see what colour I've got just by adding a touch. So again with my original, just want to tap a little bit in. There you go, and then this one. I'm going to blend it in a little bit more, and then I'm going to do this one. So because I only put a little bit amount onto the page, I really want to lighten it up. Because like I say, I really want to use my stencils and stamps. So I know it probably won't come up on camera. But I've mixed the pink and the purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the other way around now. So I'm going to do purple up the top and pink at the bottom. So using my, because I kind of like that combination, using my palette, I've got colours. Okay. Same here. And then I have got, like I say, I've got some stencils next to me, which I'm going to get out in a second. And with these, I don't, like I say, the inspiration came from that paper pad. So I don't know how these are going to turn out. I don't know because I haven't made them up before. So I have no idea. And I'm just going to add a touch of the really dark pink. Paper's coming off for some reason. And a touch here. There you go. So that's my sort of background colour. I'm going to dry these off and then I'm going to get the stencil. It's not going to be quite the colours, background colours, apart from these two, are quite light. Okay, it's not easy enough. Oh my word. Right. So I'm going to use this stamp. Kind of like the bric-a-brac of it. And I've also got out, I'm going to use my stencils in a minute. Where's that big one? Actually, I'm going to do two different ways. Since we've got a 6, I'm going to do two different ways. I'm going to put the stamp down first, then the stencil, and then I'm going to do the stencil first, then the stamp to see which one works better, because I've never done these before. That's still wet. I've never done these before, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. Right, that was not easy. Right, I bought myself, after the lovely Mrs. G let me hit ink last week, I bought myself Archival Ink. It's by Ranger, and I've been using it quite a lot. And what I like about it is that it's waterproof. So you know, I've used the watercolors as my base. It's not going to mix with my other watercolors or my stencils I'm going to use. I'm going to make sure the comments are working because you guys have gone quiet. So bear with me 2 minutes. Are you all intrigued with what I'm doing? You all intrigued with what I'm doing? Right. So I want to create some of this stamp work. So I think I'm just going to ink up. I'm going to ink it all up. That way then I can sort of decide on how much you want to add. Don't know whether I'm going to get rid. Oh, I can. It's supposed to be waterproof, so there we go. I got rid of them. Right. Now I don't want this all on my, I don't want it to spread all over because I only want certain blocks done. So I'm going to pop that there, and I'm going to pop this one here. It doesn't matter if it goes in that 1/2 inch I've left. So I'm just going to pop it, I think, here. Okay, and then this one, I need another piece. Hello, Miss Penny. Jill's intrigued with what I'm doing. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not boring everyone. I'm going to go that way because I want to do this one, but I only want to do a little bit of this brickwork. I don't want to do it all. So this one is the English Garden collection from those same people. So what I'm going to do, I think, with this one is, yeah, I'm going to do half. Okay. And then on the top then, I'm going to use more than one stamp. Let me move this up my way because it's the wire's driving me nuts. I'm going to go that way next and here. It doesn't matter if it comes over. And I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm going to see how much ink I've actually got left. So I'm going to do... there, and I'm just going to come over a little bit because the paper's still wet. It's going to give me an imprint rather than a full stamp. And that's that one. So let me share with you what they look like. So that is what I've got so far. I hope you guys can see that. So I've done the more or less over the bridge, done half of it, and then on this one, because the paper is sort of still damp, I'm going to just shine it up to the light. It's giving me an imprint rather than a stamp. So it really builds it up. So I'm going to leave that as, I'm going to keep these handy because I will want to do the rest of them. And then on these, I'm going to do them a little bit different. So while that is drying, it doesn't take that long to dry, I'm going to try and do my stencils first. So I've got different stencils here. I kind of like that bird there, so I'm going to try that one first. I'm going to move that my way. And again with these, I'm going to cover them because I don't want them to be, I don't want them to get wrecked. And I'm going to pop the bird just there. I'm going to use some washi because I don't want the stencil to move. And if I do it on the edge, it's not going to interfere with the postcard. So I'll pop it just there so it will move. Right, I've got homemade gesso. Now I make my gesso up with white acrylic paint, flour, PVA glue, and that's it. I have made some before where you can mix a pink gesso up. Now I found that it does come up really well. And I know some of you guys use talc when you make homemade gesso. For me, I use flour. So this is gesso. This isn't stenciling paste. I need to make some of that up actually. But no, this isn't stenciling paste. This is just purely gesso. So I'm going to use, I've got like a palette knife. And I'm going to make sure I don't want too much because it might seep. And I'm just going to do a little bit at the top here. Now, I am not going to, I'm getting rid of the excess, but I'm not going to take the stencil off at this point. I'm actually going to keep it on, and I'm going to dry it with it on. I did this in one of my, this technique, one of my journal pages. Turned up really too slowly. So I'm going to dry it with it on. Now, I tend to know when it's dry, when it starts bubbling. Obviously, I don't want to go too close because it is plastic when you put it in my fingers. And when you think it is dry, roughly dry, then you can start taking it off. Now I would keep going at this point. You can See, it's starting to bubble already. Right, so at this point I would take it off. Now I'm going to peel back the washi because it'll still be damp, wet damp, but it's not going to be wet, if that makes any sort of sense. You have to forgive my hands. Right, I'm going to lift this off gently and I'm left with an imprint. I hope you guys can see that. See the imprint I'm left with? Sort of works a bit like stenciling thing, but I'm doing it with gesso only because I haven't got any. So I'm going to do the same thing but with a different stencil now to that piece. I'm going to see which one works best, whether the stencil works first or whether the stamp works first. So I'm going to take, I've got these stamps out, stencils out. This one's got like a hummingbird to it and I thought it fitted. And get it up the packet. It fitted well with what I wanted to do. It's quite long. Do I want it that long? Wait there. Some more in my pot. Right. Let me move this. I'm gonna see if the butterfly works best. I think it does actually. That one kind of like. Oh, I will do the butterfly. Just noticed two like little doves. Oh, you're gonna have to help me. Wait a minute, bear with me while I dig some stamps up. We'll go A, B, and C. Right, so I've got A is the hummingbird. We've got two more sort of postcards to fill up. So A is the hummingbird, so that one. B is the fairy, if she's not too big. I don't think she is. Sitter. No, that's B. She wouldn't be too big because I'll probably sit it under some flowers. So that's B. Fairy's the B. And C. Some of these I haven't used. So I don't know what they turn out to be. So C would be the butterfly. So A is the doves, B is the, I'll show you again. A is the doves, B is the butterfly, and I think I would use that one, and because I like the shape of it, or even that one. Or B would be the butterfly, or C would be the fairy. That's what C would be. So A for the doves, B for the butterfly, or C for the fairy. Which one should I use? And while you're all deciding that, I'm just going to make sure I've got everything. I've got gesso on my t-shirt. See, as crafters get material everywhere. I wish you can see my t-shirt. It's all on my t-shirt. But Lorna says B, which is the butterflies. So it's this one. Lorna, or is this one? I think, oh, I don't know. I think that one. B was the fairy. B was the fairy. Okay, if B is the fairy, then that's the fairy sitting down. I might do some flowers underneath that. So B is the fairy, C is the butterfly, and A is the doves. So let me do that. A, B, C. There we go. That makes it easier. C. Everybody liked the butterflies. And we got some C. So how many did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 for B, for the fairy. Right, okay. I'll do the fairy, I think. So, this is the fairy. Now I've got her sitting. I'm going to do her sitting. And I want to sort of want to cover this up a little bit. I wish you could see my t-shirt. I'm covered in gesso. There, I think. And again, I'm just going to use... it's only going to be on the top because I can't use it here because I've already put what have I already put? I've already put gesso there, so I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to pop it there, and then I'm going to pop this a little bit. Not too much, just there. Right, so get your knife again. I will do the butterfly. You're all in. It was between the fairy and the butterfly. I'm going to do the butterfly on this one. I will do it. I promise. For those that voted the butterfly, I will do the butterfly. Right. So. Now she's got sugar. She's got a little bit of fiddly things, like a head and a wing. Okay. I'm just going to pop that there. She should come out really nice because she's sitting. But I think I've seeped a little bit in up here. That doesn't matter. Right, because I don't want to fiddle around with her too much because she's a bit temperamental. Because she's got little bits and pieces that are between. Whereas the bird was like one solid picture. This isn't. It's got like little bits in between which make it a bit easier to put gesso down. Let me dry this off in a second. Take the stencil off completely to let it dry. Okay, so, oh my word, things are falling everywhere. Right, I'm going to lift this off now. Now the paper should come with it. Oh, she wasn't too bad. I thought she was going to seep a little bit more than that. She wasn't too bad at all. So that's that one. And then before everybody says, I voted for the fairy, don't worry, I'm gonna do the butterfly. So because I want to cover that, so I don't mind if it goes in between because that's why I've done a 1/2 inch gap. So let me get the flutterby. Where's the flutterby? This is the flutterby. And I'm going to use, I think I want to use that as my center point because I've got quite a nice butterfly stamp set. I think I'm going to use that one at the top. I think so. Right, take your knife again. Oh, first things first. Some washi tape. Oops, some washi tape on the seam. Because otherwise my stencil will move. Where's my washi tape? There it is. If I don't get to finish these tonight, I will definitely finish it off next week. What is the time with everybody anyway? Where are you all watching me from? Listening to me yapper on. Where are you all watching me from, and what time is it with you? I need to try and make my own gesso. I went into the range last week and the gesso was really expensive. It is. I'm so glad you said that, Jill, because it is. It's really really expensive to buy gesso, and especially if you want. I noticed it. Now, I don't use black gesso. I've seen others using. They've had a really nice effect. I can't get on with black gesso. I don't know what it is, but I can't do it. But anyway, black gesso is a little bit more expensive than white. Did you know? So yeah, I'm glad you said that because I noticed it. That's why I wanted to take to make my own. And there's so many videos out there making gesso. Some people use talc. I use flour on mine. Make sure I scrape off where I can. Right, that is it for the gesso. Like I said, you'll have to excuse my hands because they're covered, absolutely covered in gesso, and my top is. Cheshire, UK, Scotland, 2153. Wow. Right. I always make a big jar. Now this is like a jam jar size when I make my own gesso. Does anybody else make their own gesso? Or is it just, do you buy it, or what do you make? What do you guys do? Do you make it or do you buy it? I'm going to make sure now it's all a little bit right before I take it. I'm in Lancashire, and it's almost time to go. Christmas. Oh my word. I didn't believe you. Yeah, yes. I don't know that you can make your own. Yeah, you can. And making your own gesso is really, I find it really easy to do. I'll tell you what I do. There's no point in me making it up because it's really easy to remember. Say you were making a jar up, you go. Now this is what I do, right? Half of PVA glue, a quarter of white acrylic paint, and then what I'd do is I'd add a teaspoon at a time of plain flour until I get my consistency. Some people like their gesso to be quite thick. I quite like mine to be sort of in between. So if you add a little at a time, you won't get in a mess. And if you wanted to add a little bit of colour to it, let's say you wanted to make pink up, instead of putting the white acrylic paint in, you would put pink acrylic paint in, and that's what you would do. And you just add a little bit of pink acrylic paint with your white, and it'd make your pink up. But that's what you do. So I'll go through that again. Half PVA glue, and then add a quarter of white acrylic paint, and then add your flour a little bit at a time till you get your consistency right. And that's what I do. And I do make mine up a jar at a time, and that way I'm sort of like I've got it to hand, and every time I run out I get a clean jar, and then I go from there, and that's how I make it up. So those are my stencils. So as you can see, turning out really nice. I'm hoping anyway you guys think the same. So what I want to do now is I want to add my watercolor pencils in, and I want to give these brickworks a little bit of color. So I'm just going to bring out a little bit of color. Magenta. And then I've got tiny little brushes that I'm just going to, like I did last week, add a little bit of color. So I'm not going to add so much color to this one because I can bring the color in with the different stamps. And of course you'd let all this dry before you would cut it out, and then just create your own little postcards. And you could do them all the same if you wanted. I'm just gonna do a little bit of my watercolor paper. I find if I use a brush and adding the water to the pencil, then I create my soft colors. If I do the other way around, I find my pencil becomes too sharp, so I'm able to control it a little bit more. So that's that one. This is this one. And while these are drying, I can work on my other ones that these ones I can create it. That one and this one is not quite dry yet. That's not to say it's not going to be. And then up here, do the same thing, roughly around. And you can add messages to these, why not? They become your own postcards. Like I say, you can make them into cards. You could make them into, like, you could create this on a pocket if you wanted to. I can see there's lots of comments, so I'm gonna have a look to see what you all are talking about. I don't want to create too much color on these because I want to create some more stamp work on the top. No, I did this earlier. I wanted red. I am having some pink splatters, but that's okay. I can cope with pink splatters. I'm going to do a little bit on this one. And then here, and then I'm going to go soft just here. Like I say, I'm going to do some more. And then this one up the top. Like I say, it's left me with sort of imprints. So I'm just going to pick the imprints up with my pencil. A little bit more, I think. I'm going to go back to the brown in a minute. And then up here, just want to do it a little bit darker. you can sort of, I think you can see it coming. I know it might not be showing the prints. I'm hoping it is showing the prints for you. And let me check the comments. I'm heading to Cheshire in a couple of weeks, John. Our daughter's finally moving into their new home. I know. I'm really looking forward to seeing her. I'm a bit nervous about traveling and actually spending time away from home, but we stay safe as we can. I know. Thing is, with everything going on, I think it's going to be quite a long time since we go back to normalization. I don't know, it might be just me thinking, but here in the UK, I mean, it's different. Here in the UK, we've got Scotland, England, and Wales, and Northern Ireland all have like have had all different sort of. They've all had the same messages in "stay safe." That they've all had sort of thing. But as regards to with what you can and can't do, like in England, I know you guys have got to wear masks whenever you go out, like public transport, shops, that kind of thing. Here in Wales, it hasn't been set in stone as of yet. But I was in Sainsbury's today, and I think they're making a mandatory in there because they had a sign outside, please wear masks inside our stores. It was like, I think it's a thing that's going to happen now, that until they can find a sort of, I don't know, solution, I think it's going to be, I think that's what's going to happen until they find a solution to what's been happening, what's going on. I think that's going to become part of our norm, is to wear masks. So yes, Miss Rian, whoever's traveling to see family, just stay safe as you possibly can be. We had Chris's dad down last weekend. He only came down for the day. And we spent time in the garden. We were all safe. But like I say, because you've got different rules, like he came down from England and he had all his masks and stuff, bless him, in the car, because he actually thought it was the same. And yeah, it's just different. Everywhere, I think everyone in the world has got the same message. COVID, you know, this disease is deadly, and everybody's just got to be safe, and whatever that means in our normal world that we're supposed to be living in right now, if that makes any sort of sense in what I'm saying. So I'm going to stamp some butterfly images on the brickwork. I'm going to do one wing at a time because I sort of want to do it as if it's landed. There's one there. And then I'm going to take the same wing and I'm just going to put it off center. I'm going to add a little bit of brown. And it should come up. Here you go. So I've got that. There's the wing. And then I'm going to take my, I want a light green. I'm going to take this green. I'm just going to dampen the nib. And I'm just going to spread the ink out using my pencil. And because I've got two wings, half of butterfly, like you say, if I don't finish this off tonight, I will be back next week. I'm going to go over that. Once that's dry, I'll go over that in my pens, my artist pens. And the next one I want to do is, we've got some words here. I've got happy birthday, sending wishes, thank you. Not what I'm looking for. I am going to do another one. I think I'm going to do, I don't know whether to do a blocked one this time. Oh no, that one's not there. I think I'm going to do this one, which is another half wing, but I'm going to do it in different colour. So I have got, I used green last time, didn't I? Let me see what colours I've got. I've got brown. I think I'm going to do it in blue. So blue should make it stand out. And I'm just going to pop it there. And again, I'm just going to do half the wings that come away from the side and do it there. Leave that completely dry and then colour it in with my inks. And then I want to do the other side as if there's a one by here. I've just realised something. I want to do the other side. So I want to do it as if there's one just landed here. Now I have, I think that's a small butterfly. Yeah, it is. It's a tiny little butterfly. And I'm going to do that in gathered twigs. So that would be the brown. And I'm going to pop that just there. Trying to think. There. And let's go one just on the edge there. There's my 3. I'm going to let that dry and come back to it. This one in the middle, I have different stamps for. So now I've done the butterflies, I think I want to do the flowers. So I'm going to use these, and I want to do this long gifted flower here, the one I showed you right at the very beginning. Okay, I want to make sure I've got it in. Yeah. And I'm going to outline it in black and then colour it in with my pencils, I think. So what has everybody been making? Has everybody been making anything nice? I'm going to do it there. And I'm going to pop a couple of these just off the side. It's because I'm frightened going into that block. No. There you go. So I've got that sort of going on, and that's this one. So to make this a little bit different, tacky tape's sticking to my head. I'm going to use my thin brush. That is beautiful. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Melba. College Masterboard. Thank you, Miss Jenny Lynn Creates. Thank you, Rian. This one, I want to take my, I'm going to paint it in, I think, that one. I'm going to make it a little bit different. See, these are new paints. I haven't even opened them. Say I haven't opened them, and then I make a mess. If I haven't finished these by trying to find a white. Where have I put the white? White. If I haven't finished these in the next 20 minutes, I will carry it on for next week. So I've got a nice soft. So all I'm going to do is lightly, and like you say, it doesn't matter if I go into my 1/2 inch border all the way around, because they're gonna be cut out anyway. And yes, it is like a masterboard, I suppose. I hope you guys have been able to see tonight's live and I haven't been out of shot or anything like that. So I'm just picking some of the colour up, not too much because I don't want to overload it. Okay, and I've got a little bit of stem going on, and they're in the centre of that stem. No, that's white claret, not brown. Did I not get brown out? I thought I did. In the centre of that stem, there's a little flower, which I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. So let me zoom you down. So we're working on that one there. There you go. There you go. And then I've got some here that's just faded because I did a bit of a fading stamp. So that one and that one is probably done for me. This one I'm going to add pink to, but I want to be able to build the colour up because I've used Gesso and all this is dry. That one's still wet and that one is. So I'm going to take my purple I had right at the beginning. All that's on my brush is water. And I just want to add a little bit of purple in these little twiddly bits. And I just want to bring the colour over. Now, some of the gesso will come up. That doesn't matter because all I want to do is add colour. A little bit of green. And I'm going to come over the... So has anybody seen any of your family since we've all come under lockdown sort of thing? Has anybody seen anyone that you couldn't see because you were under lockdown? Because I know for some of us we were self-isolating because we were trying to keep ourselves safe. And I just wondered if anybody had come out of lockdown and seen somebody. Good evening, Miss Kaz. How are we this evening? It's lovely seeing you in my chat. How are we this evening? I haven't seen you in ages. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to use my pencil and it's just going to give this bit a little bit of colour. And I think I'm going to make him into a blue tip bird. So I'm going to take my... some of these names I can't pronounce. Aegean. I told you I couldn't pronounce them. And I'm going to take this one, this light one. Just trying to do some paint splatters. There you go. I don't want too much. There we go, plenty. And then I have got, in that same stamp set, I have got, I want to see if I can, I don't think I want to do that one in this one. There's a couple of these. Not to my brother yet, going to see him next week. How amazing is that? How amazing are you all feeling right now about going to see everyone? It's been a long time coming. I have seen here, now I don't know what it says, I haven't got a clue because I haven't used it. It says, if friends were flowers, I'd pick you all, guys, a million times. It actually says I'd pick you, but I would pick you all a million times over. I'm going to stamp that in black, and that should make it pop on the side. Let me get the right way around this that way. There you go. So that one's done for me. And that one's done. The fairy one. So there's 3 of them done. So I'm going to work on this sort of brickwork one. So I sort of like the effect of it. And I'm going to put my flowers, I think, in the centre of it. That gesso still hasn't dried. Just getting on everything. Take that one. Now it is bigger than my stamping block, but I don't mind. So I'm going to just take the ink, and I'm just going to, I think I'm going to stamp it at an angle. Yeah, why not? Love that. Thank you very much. And then I'm going to take myself, I'm going to take peach. Just bring some colours out. I think I'm going to use a bit of pink, lavender. There you go. So again, my soft brush. I'm just going to pick out these colours. Now the peach will take a little longer because it's quite a light colour. And I've noticed I've had to load my brush with it. So let me bring you over. So in case you're all wondering, you know the thumbnail that I used for this video that you all probably saw when you all guys were waiting for me to come in? That was done when I was in school, and it was done as part of my art exam, and I used quite a lot of mixed media. And the shell in that picture, I actually ended up, after I'd done my exam, oh no, just before, I'd done everything I needed to do for the exam, and I loved the shell in the picture. Now everything you see in there is all mixed media, which is why I used it for tonight's live. But I was like, oh, I really like that shell. I think I should make something of it. So what I decided to do is take that shell and actually make a chalk painting of a certain part of it. And I popped it into a, like a frame. And it now hangs in my hall. And these are completely the wrong colours for the wrong flowers. It's not bothering me in the slightest. Just trying to work out. And I need a yellow. So yeah, that's why I picked that picture. And I thought, well, I've got to tell you all what the story is behind it. I have to tell you. So as you can see, you can use these for absolutely anything. So if you decided to make these up, please let me know. I love seeing your creations. And if you've done a video on it. I've got so many videos to catch up on. I'm still trying to make my way through them. So you'll have to forgive me if I haven't gone around to your channel or your videos. It's not because I don't want to come round. It's because I was off YouTube, I think it was for about 6 months. Really 6 months. I was popping videos up every now and then, but they were just saved videos. I'm not going to colour the jar. I'm going to leave the jar as is. Now the fairy, I wanted to put some sort of floral design underneath her. So I'm going to have a pick what I've got. I think I'm going to use this one. If I can. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. It's not because I don't want to come. It's because I've got so many videos to catch up on. And I'm trying to sort of make my way around everybody. So you have to forgive me if I haven't got around to your channel. I just wanted to tell you that because I sort of feel guilty because I'm like, Colette, come on. And I'm trying my best to get round to you all. Right, I'm going to pop that there. I'm going to pop that there because I don't want to cover what we've done. I'm hoping that'll be enough. And then I'm just going to pop a stamp imaged on her. On her. Still not coming up. Wait a minute. It's come out on the tissue paper. That'll do. I'm going to pop that there. I'm going to just. There you go. And again with that one, I'm going to add a little bit of colour. See, anything like this, I would keep that and maybe put it in my journal. Perhaps so. Right, I'm just going to add a different green this time. And because I went over the same stamp a couple of times, it has smudged the ink. Think about it, stick, just done. I need to get one of those, oh, what are they called? Where you can put, if anybody knows, please tell me what they're called. Where you can say that's it comes in a folder and you put the stamp on the lid and you close the folder and then your paper doesn't move and you know it's in the same place. But I don't know what they're called. And I've been longing to get one. I'm going to get yellow. We'll use this one again. I'm just going to do yellow on her there. And like I say, I think I've used the stamp a little bit too much. There you go. So that's that one. And then my last one, which is this one. Like I said, they're all going to get cut out in a minute. I'm going to go for something I haven't used. I think I'm going to go with one of these because I want to make that one, the last one, into a butterfly scene. So I think I'm going to just try to work out. No, it's not quite what I'm looking for. Right there. Right there. What about one of these? that's that one. Oh, there's a bird's nest by here. Yeah, I'm going to use the bird's nest. And I think I've got, bear with me 2 minutes, because I think that one says, thank you, said you know. I think I've got some words in my drawer. With love, don't ruffle your feathers, thinking of you. Hello. I think I'm going to go with love if I can find it. So with love, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to do in that one. So I'm going to stamp it first. What's my stamping book? I got an idea. Oh my word, my mind's going to state. I asked for one for my birthday, Lorna says. They're called stamping platform. Thank you, ladies. I have one. I find it. Do more stamping now. Do you, Pauline? They're great, Lorna, especially like if stamped several times while embossing ink. You can get the image good and covered with embossing powder. Bought my stamp plate from eBay for £5. I use a little washi to hold the paper in place. Oh, wow. So that's what they call stamping platform. Right. That's my next buy. Anyone asks, I'm just blaming it on you guys. Yeah, it's their fault. They told me what it was called. Right, I'm just going to stamp this a little few times. As I say, I don't mind it coming off the page. And if you notice, the ink is sort of fading, which makes it a little bit nicer. And then I've got this with love sign as well. With love sign as well. So I'm going to stamp that. Just stamp there. So that's all my stamping finished. Now I'm just going to colour these in. And then I'm going to cut them out and actually show you what it looks like cut out. So I know I've been on quite some time tonight. Thank you for all the thumbs up. I did notice as I just looked at then. It does make it really nice when you have some really nice feedback. So thank you so much. And I want to say thank you all for the lovely messages from last week as well. I really didn't expect, I know we talked about quite a deep topic last week. And I really didn't expect the nice feedback I got off. So thank you so much. And if, like you say, it was just nice because it was nice not to feel different, to feel some sort of normality. So thank you so much. I'm going to add another green in there. And you can make these up. There's no reason why you can't make a set of these and pop them in your journals. You know, and you don't have to use them for your journals. I know some of you don't make journals. You could pop them in a card, maybe. And I'm going to use, there's a light yellow. There. And yeah. And to pop that butterfly, I throw it at the back of my hand then. I'm just going to take some lilac. Probably use a different colour now in a minute. And I've got, this is like an eggplant colour. There you go. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to give this a quick dry and then I'm going to cut them all out. What's the best black ink to use for stamping? I've just purchased, good question, Kaz. Last week I lent off Rian, I can't think what it was called. What was it called, Rian? What was the ink that I lent off last? I can't remember the ink. And then I went on and bought myself some ink myself, and I'm using Archival Ink. Now, this is the first ink I bought for stamping because I wanted to use something that it didn't, because I was using normal stamps and Tim Holtz stamps, and then every time I was using watercolor, it would smudge and it would blend, because after all, that's what Tim does best. He makes stamps that can be blended with watercolors. But I didn't want a stamp that, I didn't want an ink that would do that. I wanted the seed stamp and then add color. So I went on to Amazon, might find it cheaper on eBay, just because I wanted it the next day. And I looked for this, and that's the only one I bought. So there might be others out there. I know there's one, I know Ria mentioned Stays On to me. So I'm going to have a look at that one. And I want to do a live and have various different inks and sort of see which one works best. Because we all buy different things for different reasons. For me, I wanted something that wasn't going to smudge with watercolors. You might want something that doesn't react when you add embossing ink. So yes, I think I personally, what I did last week is I read some reviews and I read the description, and that's the only one I bought, so I can't, I mean, ladies might answer it for myself. So I remember that chapter I was in the last time. I know, sweetheart. They're looking beautiful. Thank you, sweetheart. I like Stays On. It's fast and dry, so you can throw moisture on after dancing. Memento, that's why I received last week. I knew it was something. I'm just using a cheap one from Hobbycraft at the moment. Yeah, me too. I think I was using one from the range. I think that was my plan last week. Right, A3. I'm going to get rid of this pad. And then get rid of that. And then now you can either keep your border. For me, I'm not going to keep my border. But I'm not going to keep my border in my postcards. But I will keep the border and add them into my journals, because at the end of the day, it's still a pattern. Now, what I mean by that, I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so see this border. I'll show you now. See this border? It's got a bit of stamped imaging. I would keep that and add it to my journal. So we've got those two. I know I've been on a little bit longer than planned, but I definitely wanted to give you. I wanted to do, like I say, I wanted to do postcards, being inspired by that paper pad. See, this one at the end I would keep. Can you imagine that on the end of on the end of a page or something? It'd look amazing. Anyway, so let me cut this one out. There's that one. Like I say, you could. It was half an inch border all the way around, and these are 4x4 pieces of paper. I'm going to cut this one out. And they've come out really, really nice. You can add words to them. You could even add lace to them if you wanted to. I would keep these because they've got a bit of stenciling on them. And then the last one is this one. And again, I'd keep that because it's got a bit of stamping on. You could either keep the edges that didn't have stamping. That's got a little bit of watercolors on. And that one. So let me show you what they now look like. So you have that image. They are 4x4, so 4 inches by 4 inches. And I've thrown everything at them. Watercolors, gesso. For this one, I think I'd stamp it once. It did smudge, but that's not to say that I couldn't add something. I'm going to leave that plain because I might want to add a little saying. That one says, if friends were flowered, I pick you. And then we've got the one with the butterfly. Again, I could add my own words and do whatever I wanted to do. And then you've got your border, which I would add easy into my journals because they've got a little bit of stamping going on. And it would look amazing inside a journal. So that is my live for this evening. I am covered in gesso, head to toe. I have thoroughly, though, I must say, I'm thoroughly enjoyed tonight's live. Getting all the paints out, getting the gesso out. I've sat here and I actually thoroughly enjoyed crafting with you all. So thank you so much for coming into tonight's live. Thank you for all the thumbs up, by the way. They turned out gorgeous. Thank you, Miss Basie. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, Miss Jan. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Kaz. Oh, thank you, Mrs. G. Thank you, ladies, for tuning in and staying with me till, what time are we on? 20 to 11? Wow, that's nearly an hour and a half. So thank you so much. Please let me know, though, if you give these a go. I would love to know if you give yours a go and what kind of things you add on top. I was looking at today and I was just trying to, I had this inspiration from the paper pad, like I say, but I was thinking, how would this work if you had a jelly plate? Now, I haven't got a jelly plate, but I do know with a jelly plate you could get some really good prints for your sort of your main background, and then you could add on top as a bit of inspiration. So I'm going to love and leave you all there with that thought in mind. Thank you for tuning in, and I will be back next Friday at 9 p.m. But if you haven't already, please follow my series journal. I've finished filming the next part. It'll go up on Tuesday. I am well excited by it, and I might be throwing some of these into my main journal. Yeah, I definitely want to use some of these into my main journal. So look out for the gesso thing that I did on one of the pages. That's coming up soon. So good night, God bless, and I will catch up with you all next Friday at 9 p.m. Much love to you all, and I will check out, I'll keep looking on your channels and videos, but please forgive me if I haven't gone round to you. It's not because I don't want to, it's generally because I'm going round to everybody, so please bear with me. I will speak to you all soon. Take care, lovely ladies, and I will catch up with you then. Bye for now.